What about animation? Okay, so I've given each of these an armature, and I'll come into these next two a bit later. But I can come into here, go to pose mode, select this top bone and rotate it in the x-axis so it bends with my object. But can you see how bad the topology is and what happens when I move it like this? It distorts and goes all over the place. I'll quickly turn the overlays off so you can see the distortion and what's happening. It's stretching the mesh and making a real mess. Overlays back on. However, if I go to the next one, into pose mode, select that top one, rotate around the x-axis and bend it round. Because we have cleaner topology, we can see that it's much nicer. It deforms how we'd hope, and if I turn the overlays off, you can see that deformation there working well. Well, we can take that even further. I'll turn the overlays back on and I'll take you to this one along here. Let's show the wireframe for that. Now where the bend is, I've got more loop cuts. That means when I go into my bones, into pose mode and rotate this in the x-axis, the deformation looks a bit better. Let's turn the overlays off again. You can see that we've got a much smoother bend. So putting extra topology around the middle here is helping us with that deformation. And that shows that understanding topology and where to add extra topology can really help with your animations. Let's go to this last one here, and I'll put the wireframe on for that, and we'll go to the bones, into pose mode, rotate around the x-axis. Now this one's slightly different. If I come around here, we can see the edge. I've actually got a triangle in there, but let's turn the overlays off and see how well it's deforming. It's not that dissimilar to this one here, but this one actually has less polygons and a triangle within it. I'll rotate it back up and hide the armature for a moment, so you can see that this one has a triangle on the side here and kind of an extra face at the back here. So it's an interesting case where you can actually utilize modeling in tris or triangles to get the same results with the animation but with less polygons. And this is often a technique used for low poly modeling, where you're trying to be as optimal as possible by going as low poly as possible for things like mobile games, but you still want to keep its integrity when it bends and distorts. So back to the bone, rotate around the X, and you can see it does a good job with less polygons. So there's dirty topology, which just doesn't work for animation. Cleaner topology, which works but it's not optimal. Then we've got slightly more optimal topology and how we can add topology where there'll be bends. Then we've got super highly optimized for low poly gaming and things like that, where we've reduced the topology for optimization.